finally, Need for Speed Unbound has been revealed. Sorry if I'm a little late to this, of course. It has been a few days since the game was revealed. And my life has been a little bit stressful throughout the reveal period, obviously, because I don't have a PlayStation 5 and Need for Speed Unbound will be next-gen exclusive. I'll have a job very, very soon, though, so if I'm not able to get Need for Speed Unbound by December 2nd, which will be launch, maybe I'll be able to have it by around Christmas or something. Again, I'm going to have to get a PlayStation 5 first before I can get Need for Speed Unbound. But I'm pretty confident that I'll have it by January at least. So, yeah, we'll see. So, Need for Speed Unbound has had a little bit of a mixed reception since it came out, since it was revealed, sorry. Mainly because of one thing, the character models. Now, Criterion Games have appeared to have gone for the anime-styled stuff, and a lot of people really don't like anime. I personally am becoming more open to the idea and the look of anime. Again, a lot of people just don't like it, and trust me, I understand. Years went by where I didn't like how it looked neither. I always thought it looked really weird. But honestly, I don't really mind it now. I think it's just fine, and you know what? It kind of suits Need for Speed. If it was in Heat, I would have... Yeah, I think I would have liked it. Now, Heat's character models, I don't think there was necessarily a problem with Heat. I know some in-game cutscenes looked really janky, but the actual pre-rendered cutscenes I thought looked great. So, they didn't have to do this, but I feel like Unbound is sort of going to be another reboot, or more of a soft reboot. Technically, every Need for Speed game is a soft reboot, unless it's a direct sequel story-wise, but yeah. Unbound, spiritually, seems to be a sequel to Heat, which is what I love. I want to see this game, and I want to see it expanded upon. I thought Heat was amazing. I genuinely rate it in my top 3 Need for Speeds. Like, it's up there. I really do like Heat. Although it will probably be knocked out of the top 3 if Unbound is like Heat, but polished and a lot more content. And honestly, that's the only thing I personally care about. But there are genuinely some people that really don't like the anime-looking characters like you see ASAP Rocky on the thumbnail. And TJ is one of them, unfortunately, which does suck. So I don't think I'll be doing Need for Speed videos with him anymore, which does, at least Unbound videos. Anyway, and that does suck. Maybe he'll get it eventually once he sees past the anime characters, but that's assuming the game is good enough regardless, which I think it should be. We've been waiting since 2019, or at least 2020. They've been working on it since 2020, so again, we'll have to see what happens, but I personally don't mind it. I think it's fine. We've had similar in the past. I know Need for Speed Carbon Own the City on the PSP had very similar cutscenes. Need for Speed Underground 2 had the comic book style cutscenes, so this isn't exactly wild and out of the norm. I find it really funny when people, you might have even seen me at planet.sly on Instagram defending this game, sort of. There was a particular comment that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Let me bring it up on Instagram, actually. But basically, it was the same old tired argument of, oh, why don't you listen to your fans? Like, it's the most wanted fanboys, essentially. Let's have a look, then. Let's see what it said. Yeah, so the comment basically was, why don't you ever listen to your fans? We literally don't care if the game includes someone famous. And why is half of it in cartoon? This is just lazy, especially when we're in 2022. You literally want to drive this series into the ground. Like, overreaction much? That is such a big overreaction. You're judging one feature. You're judging the game by one feature. The entire game by one feature. I get it, you don't like the anime style stuff, and you can't change that in terms of the character models. But in terms of the effects on the cars, you have an option to turn those off, and an option to not even have them at all, you know? So, I don't see what the big deal is there. I know the character models might be grating for people, but let's be honest. Who the fuck, other than Need for Speed hardcore fans like myself, who the fuck plays Need for Speed stories more than once? Seriously? Like, for example, friends of mine that played Heat have never played the story more than once. TJ included. I myself have actually only played it twice. So, I don't see the big deal there. Like, once you get past the story, hell, you could even ignore the story. I'm pretty sure, I mean, the story might require you to play through it so you can unlock cars, but you can ignore it. I'm pretty sure there'll be an option to skip the cutscenes. I just think most of the game is going to be set behind the wheel, behind the car. You're not going to really care about a lot of these anime characters. Personally, I would prefer Heat. And I think the character models for Heat are definitely preferable, but I don't care. You know? If I was given the choice, if I had to make a choice, I would go with Heat's character models, obviously. But, again, if this is the direction we're heading in, with these anime cartoon-looking characters, I don't care. I don't care. If the game is good, I'm going to like it regardless, I think. I think I'll like it even more. I'm mixed on it right now. No, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I don't mind. As long... What matters to me is the game. If the game's good. He had a lot of problems. 2015, Payback, Rivals, had a lot of problems. I just want a good game. We have not had a good, polished Need for Speed since Most Wanted 2012. 2012, people. I just want a good game. It's been 10 years since that game. We deserve one polished Need for Speed. As much as highly as I rate 2015 and Heat, you know, we deserve a polished, fully polished and optimized game with DLC and content. That's all I care about. I couldn't give less of a fuck if these are anime cartoon characters. And honestly, it will most likely only be for one game. Like, if the Need for Speed community is unanimous in not liking these cartoon anime characters, they won't even be in the next game. You know? A lot of people accusing them of not listening. I really think they have. The game virtually still looks in the style of Heat. You know? I mean, my worst fears are out the window already. You know? My worst fears was that Criterion was going to bring it back to Hot Pursuit 2010 and Most Wanted 2012. Although I wouldn't have minded Most Wanted 2012 as a remaster, I think we should move past that in terms of mainline games. I think, yeah, we should start at the 2015 reboot and just build up from there. Heat built up from 2015 and Unbound seems to be building up from Heat. And again, that's all that matters to me. If people don't like the anime cartoon characters that strongly, just skip the cutscenes. Literally, that's all you have to do. Just skip the cutscenes and play the game, you know? Or better yet, don't buy it. And I hate this thing where people are bringing up, you know, Most Wanted, 2005, and Underground all the time. Yes, these games, and Carbon as well, obviously. I love Carbon. It's my favourite one. But, yeah, these games, of course they should be taken into account. But we need to move on. We need to move forward. We can't keep looking back, you know? That's just insane. Looking back over and over, it's just disgusting. Ugh. I know Tyler, the creator, said something similar. Like, when you go back, nobody's going to like it as much as you think they would. You wouldn't like a return to a Most Wanted style game as much as you think you would. Those games still exist. If you want to play those games again, they still exist. And they still exist in a good way. They're getting modded to all hell, you know? So, why do you care anymore, you know? If you don't like these new games, then get a fucking PC and continue to play the old ones, you know? That's all you gotta bloody do, you know? I don't understand the continued argument of, oh, they want to run the series into the ground just because they're not returning to Underground and Carbon and Most Wanted, you know? Don't get me wrong though, those games should 100% be remastered. But in terms of the mainline series, from what I've seen of Unbound, from what I've played of Heat and Need for Speed 2015, we are heading in the right direction. This is the right direction. We need a game that is genuinely a passion project from the guys who made it. We need a game where we see that the developers actually care about the product they're making. And we saw that with 2015 and Heat. Maybe with Payback, I don't know, but I didn't like Payback too much. I liked it, but I didn't love it like I did with 2015 and Heat, you know? I would never replay Payback unless people wanted me to on the channel. But I would never do it alone like I would with 2015 or, you know, Heat. So yeah, a little bit of a rant there. Genuinely, I understand the mixed reception for Need for Speed Unbound, but I think judging the entire game by one feature, whether you think it looks stupid or not, I think judging a game by one feature is lunacy. And especially if Need for Speed Unbound proves to be a good game. Like, if it's a genuinely good game and you didn't buy it and you won't buy it because of the anime stuff, you're just missing out. You are missing out, bro. I believe Unbound's going to be the best Need for Speed in years. Not just because of the single player, but because of the potential of multiplayer, speed lists, etc. I'm really excited to see what they're cooking up with it. But, yeah. If it's a bad game, even if it's a bad game, I'm not going to judge it by the anime feature. Everybody's going to be like, oh, that's because you started adding all anime and you started adding these famous rappers and stuff like that, which is just ridiculous, you know? I think it's going to be a good game. I hope it will be a good game. I'm going to buy it, obviously, because I'm the biggest Need for Speed fan ever. But, yeah, again, we need to keep moving forward. Can we stop bringing up Most Wanted, Underground, Carbon? Those games exist. Hot Pursuit 2, again, those games exist. You want to play those games, you have them. You know, you still have them. You own them. You can mod them on PC. So, why are you getting so mad at new Need for Speed games? You know? I don't get it. Anyway, I'm going to cut this short right here before I make this rant way too bloody long. I'm excited for Need for Speed Unbound. I'm going to work hard in real life to get a PlayStation 5 and then get Unbound, and of course I will play it on the channel. I know I said I'm going to quit YouTube streaming after this year, and I'm still going to do that. I think I'm going to play Assassin's Creed 2 in November, just because I want to. But in terms of everything after 2022, once we go into 2023, if I'm going to play through any more games, it will most likely be on Twitch. So yeah, be sure to go follow my Twitch at SlyJordy, of course. Follow my second channel at SlyJordy Clips. Follow my Instagram at planet.sly. And yeah, that's about all I got to say here. I'm excited for Unbound. And I think it's going to be a good game. And if it's not, obviously, then I'll eat my words. But we'll see. But again, if you're going to leave this video with anything, having learnt anything, is to not judge an entire game by one feature that you don't like. You know, if you really dislike it that heavily, don't buy it. Go back to those old games that you love. Go to bloody Forza or Gran Turismo or any other racing game. You know, we don't need your complaints, because again, if the game is good, what is the bloody point in you complaining, you know? I mean, I get it, but again, if the game is good, then yeah, we need to stop looking back. We need to like glance back and take the best examples of those old games forward. But again, nostalgia, it can truly be an illness. I genuinely don't think the old games are as good as people think they are. It's mostly nostalgia. Most Wanted 2005 is a pain to go back through, to play through again, at least for me personally, you know. Hence why Carbon is my favourite, because I just didn't like the blacklist system and how it worked, and how it was basically a checklist, and I hate games with checklists, you know, and Carbon didn't do that. So yeah, if Unbound is a lot like Heat with more content, I'm gonna love it. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Peace.